And most of the shelters right here in the city are dealing with a COVID-19 outbreak, including the Salvation Army right here on York Street, where 5 staff members and 13 clients have tested positive. Around a dozen other rallies just like this one here in Hamilton were taking place all across Ontario today, mainly at MPP offices. And their message to the government: remember Fresh Prince of Bel-Air in the 90s? Have a look at this. So Hamilton, kind of like Bel-Air, right, Mrs. Banks?
Just like Bel-Air. I love the houses here in Hamilton. It's just great. It's called the Courtyard Inn.
Yeah. The Courtyard Inn, kind of like the Courtyard Inn. Is that kind of like what you would find in Bel-Air?
Oh yeah, it's the high end, the best, hotels only here, yeah.
Eat a beat, take a pick, and challenge someone else. And now it's our turn. Cheers.
Cheers.
Not bad.
I actually love these.
Not bad at all.
I love it.
It's not as bad as I thought.
We were expecting to be really gross, but it's not bad.
You look bad.
We begin this hour with breaking news happening across our area. A Toronto police officer reportedly killed in Mississauga. This is a live look at the scene. But another location in Milton is connected to this investigation as well. In Milton now, where Sean Cowan is live for us this hour. Sean, what's happening over there?
Cheryl?
Hey Phil, well, I'm here in Milton. I'm right on Bronte and King Street. We're basically in the old part of Milton. The downtown core is just behind me here, just a few blocks away. And this area is really filled with plazas. There's actually a daycare center right behind me here. And we did get confirmation from police that 3 people were shot here in Milton. 1 person has since died. So we are getting that confirmation from the staff sergeant with Milton Police, or rather Halton Police, that 3 people were shot. 1 person has died. We do not know the names or ages of the people that were shot here in Milton. But I can tell you, I was speaking with people who live here in the old part of Milton. Everybody's kind of hanging around, talking with each other. And the shooting did take place in front of an auto body shop right on Bronte in Milton. And one person who lives here tells me that she knows the owner of that auto body shop, and she says that he is the one that was shot and killed here this afternoon, all around 2:30. Halton Police have not confirmed that just yet. We're just hearing that from people who live in the area. So just to recap, around 2:30, 2:45 this afternoon, 3 people here in Milton were shot. 1 person has died. Back inside to you.
All right, Sean Cowan reporting live for us.
Enough is enough, Canada.
Tim Jonker from the Niagara area, along with co-workers and family members, made their way up to Ottawa. 12 big rigs from his company, Jonker's Trucking, are taking part in the convoy.
I believe our government has acted in such a way that they think our Canadian Charter of Rights is not there, and we need to stop it before they take it away permanently.
And he's not alone. Ottawa police say thousands of truckers have descended upon the city.
I want to see freedom coming back to this country.
Get rid of all the ridiculous mandates that we've had 2 years.
And support for the truckers can be found right here in Simcoe as well. Close to 1,000 people showed up for an organized rally.
I don't want to see anybody lose their jobs because they choose not to get vaccinated.
We got to get rid of these mandates. Let people get back to living.
Do it. I've had enough being shoved around.
What started out as a truck convoy to protest mandatory vaccinations has turned into an opportunity for others to voice their concern with the government.
I want the government to stop forcing people to do things against their will.
We're in a pandemic, but I believe the measures are way too extreme, and we're just here to restore our livelihood.
But others who were at the protest have been sharing photos online of vandalism to the Terry Fox statue, and others carrying Confederate flags.
You're going to have some people that have some out there views and say things that isn't representative of everybody that's in that protest.
Mike Millian from the Private Motor Truck Council of Canada doesn't want the message to get lost.
You know, the original concept when this started was about vaccine mandates and border mandates, and has kind of sprouted into ending all public health measures. People have a right to have those opinions. Our association said we are in favor of vaccines early, but we're not in favor of border vaccine mandates and vaccine mandates for drivers. That's still the case.
Both the Canadian Trucking Alliance and the Private Motor Truck Council of Canada are asking truck drivers to engage in peaceful protesting today and then leave.
people around there need to be able to live their lives. They need to be able to go to work. They need to be able to live in their houses. There's lots of people around there that have small businesses that need to be able to operate. We need to be able to continue to function. So we're hopeful that, they've come in, they're peaceful, they get their voice, and then they move out and let the people that live around there.
Hamilton police are confirming a man in his 30s has died in this fire, and an arson investigator has been called in because it is a suspicious fire. It was just before 3 this afternoon when a fire broke out in a unit on the 11th floor of an apartment building on Glen Road. It was a massive fire, according to the Hamilton Fire Department, but it was put out quickly. But the unit has a lot of damage. People who live in the building say it was a man in his early 30s who lived in the apartment, and they say they saw him hanging over the side of the balcony and then eventually falling over.
And there was big black smoke, like you couldn't even really see the top of the building. And unfortunately there was a man on the outer cage of the balcony as well.
I saw smoke come up in front of the balcony, stepped out, and then there was a lot more smoke, and I looked down over to see what it was, and my neighbor who lives underneath me was standing on the outside of the railing. And basically he was in panic. So
like my sister too saw him jump over. Like me myself, I didn't see him, but she saw him jump over, and a lot of people here in the area saw him.
Yeah, so about 2:43 this afternoon, Hamilton Fire got a report of a structure fire at 44 Glen Road in the apartment buildings. When we arrived, we had heavy smoke and fire visible on the 11th floor. Crews made their way to the 11th floor, and that hallway was fully charged with smoke. Crews were able to get down the hallway and make forcible entry into the apartment. We had a fully involved apartment fire. Crews very quickly were able to get that fire under control and get it out. Extensive damage in the apartment, and given the circumstances, we are considering this fire to be suspicious, and we've notified the Ontario Fire Marshal's office.
Are you able to say, was there anybody inside the apartment when you arrived?
So there was nobody in the apartment when we arrived. Our crews completed a search of the apartment, and there was nobody inside.
And the Fire Marshal's office has also been called in to investigate. Sean Cowan, CHCH News, Hamilton. James Street North in downtown Hamilton is bustling on this Saturday fall morning. It's seen a transformation over the past 10 years with new condos, new businesses, and restaurants opening up. But with an increase in demand, also comes an increase in cost of living, including rent. Inside this tattoo shop, everyone is a renter. The customers, the employees, and even the owner.
We got into the market about 6 years ago, and we have a pretty good price at the moment, about $1,700 for a full house, which is not something you can find anymore.
She's right. According to rentals.ca, Hamilton comes in at number 21 of most expensive places to rent in Canada. The average one-bedroom goes for just under $1,700 a month, and a two-bedroom at $2,155 a month.
Just got into a building about a year ago, and it was $2,100 for a two-bedroom, and the building sucked. So when the lease ended, we left, and now we're stuck. I moved back home because I couldn't find a place.
Across Canada, the average rent has increased over 15% from this time last year, making it hard for families to make ends meet, according to the Hamilton Roundtable for Poverty Reduction.
Particularly for those on fixed incomes, for seniors, for individuals who are on Ontario social assistance, they don't have anywhere near the income needed to afford rents these days. And so they're forced to make impossible choices around whether to feed the kids, pay the utilities, or cover rent.
Also making the list of most expensive places to rent in Canada, Toronto came in at number 2, Burlington number 5, and St. Catharines number 25. And according to that report, the most expensive place to rent in all of Canada is, no surprise, Vancouver. The average rent for a one-bedroom is just under $2,600 a month, and for a two-bedroom, it's $3,700 a month. So in comparison to Vancouver, Hamilton is slightly more affordable. Sean Cowan, CHCH News. Many of the people at this rally are Ukrainian Canadian, and they are in constant communication with their loved ones back home. They say they are worried about their friends and family.
I just spoke with them half an hour ago. They were actually hiding in their bathroom floor because they were told that it's the safest place in the apartment building to hide in on the bathroom floor. So it's been a lot of stress, lots of tears, and I have my mom, my sister, and my niece who's 13. So I never thought that we would see this, and no one deserves this.
They say when their families are not fighting back, they are trying to stay safe.
They have to hide in their basement, and they're seeing lots of war and bombing everywhere and air sirens everywhere. It's really dangerous.
Yes, I am talking with them. They're terrified. They're absolutely terrified, and they just can't believe what's going on. But at the same time, they're very appreciative of the support that they've been getting from family, friends, the entire world.
While some people in Ukraine are leaving and heading over into Poland, others are choosing to stay behind and fight for their country.
We do have family that has decided to leave. However, they're just heartbroken. They're in a tough place. They have small children. They want to go back. They want to help. The majority, family and friends, deciding to stay, deciding to fight.
Any civilian that can fight grabs a gun that they've handed out, show your passport, show that you can, fight.
They are having a problem with now is ammunition, how to get ammunition to the civilians who are battling the Russian forces in the capital of Kyiv.
Many people in Ukraine are using weapons for the first time, and they want the world to know it's only in self-defense.
And we're a peaceful nation. We love the world, we love everyone, and it's a shame that we have family in Russia, and we are now divided. It's heartbreaking.
And many of the people I spoke with today say they will continue to go to rallies like this one to show their support for friends and family back home in Ukraine. But they're hoping there's not a need for them much longer and the attacks stop. Sean Cowan, CHCH News, Hamilton.